Hello there, everyone. All right. Yeah, so I feel like everything's gone smoothly today, which makes a change. I did actually forget. I've been twiddling my thumbs here, and I forgot to turn the music on, so I'll do that right now. But I feel like I'm on early right now. I've got very little to do. In part, it's because I decided to do the raid this morning. So I've done all that. I've done all my attempts, all my waves and all that. And yeah, I've kind of got only my fleet climb to do right now. And as you can see on Temen, we're already in 9th. Well, actually, we were higher. I think Death Trooper may have knocked me down. I think I have just been knocked down a little, just while I've been talking. Utini from Osprey. Now, I am curious, was that heard? I don't think it was picked up, was it? Oh, this is going to annoy me. Let me try this. If we go like that. If you got another one, feel free to give it a go, because I've just tried something, so you never know. I might have got lucky. Where is it? Come on. I feel like I'm just going forever down a list here. You know what? I've just been saying that about Fleet Climb. I forgot it was on the screen. And I haven't been knocked down. I've got Squad Arena on me. Timing account.
Osprey _000 just redeemed Utini.
Okay, that's strange. Like on my panel here, it is making a noise, but for whatever reason it isn't exporting it to everywhere else. Let me check this. Yeah, they redeemed but not the Utini. Okay, that's something. This is a troubling thing. I can't really set them off myself. By the way, I've just seen you thirst. I've just tweaked it again. I don't know if that might have widened it out a little bit. There we go, it should have gone through that time.
_000 just redeemed Utini.
I feel like this I could see something on the waves. It's very strange there. It's very strange. Fingers crossed we got it. Let me do the same for this one, just to make sure it will work as well. That should be alright. Okay, I'd say we're okay. I think everything that needs to be on is on. Right, let's just stop that before it nags me forever. And alright. So, I figure I'm just going to stall as hard as I can here. We might end up doing some Grand Arena a bit early because I can do some Crimson climbs, but I haven't really got a lot on Tem in here. I mean, in that sense, I should actually do Crimson first. Okay, round one. I'm really pleased with this counter. Almost feels as reliable as Chimera. Almost. Alright, that's perfect. Okay, so if they go for harm. I'll tell you, one of the reasons I actually don't mind doing my fleet climb on stream like this, I feel like I have guildmates who maybe sometimes have questions about fleet, and I've always got this feeling that I can say, well, just watch my streams, I do a fleet climb pretty much every other stream. You know, even if I don't reach them in GAC, I'm always doing them in me dailies in the afternoon. Hello? What's up? Hey, what's up? You wanting attention? I think she wanted attention. Alright, that's down. I don't know if I stole, and she's certainly making me have a heart attack. Well, maybe not that far, but she's certainly rising my blood pressure a little. Here we go. I've got my window open right now, and I don't really like streaming with it open, because it's, if anything, it's just one of those things where it's like, I've got my curtain shut so it doesn't bleed light onto the screen, and yeah, I'm not a fan of having it open, but this is the other downside, the fact that my dog hears every single noise outside. In a lot of ways it's good, you know, like when it's nighttime and she can hear something, it's like, okay, let's just check everything's okay. But other times you're thinking, alright DD, just chill. It's just someone next door getting in and out the car. Alright. Nice and quick start. I don't really know what I want to go for here. I suppose we go for the one that's a little bit more complicated. Okay. Start it, let's taunt up. If I remember right, the ult charge for Leia is built up by... I feel like I'm really testing myself here. It's built up by essentially times her allies get it. So she's a tank in the sense that she wants to be targeted, but she doesn't taunt, if I recall correctly. So it makes sense to put that taunt out as often as you can. Yeah, if I didn't say it clear enough, that's what I was getting at. Quite an interesting mechanic, in fairness. You wouldn't really think of that for the Rebels. Yeah, it's a bit of an anti-tank, I will agree. But you could argue it's a false tank as far as you've got to get her. Otherwise, you know, she's going to nuke you. It's more the opposite of JML, who's pretty much just god tier tank. You know what? Let's just go for Leia. Alright, damage immunity, but yet still got a stun on me. Can't say I'm fond of that one. Alright, we got our ult. By the by, I love you, Mon, but that was really annoying how you just decided, yeah, I'm going to revive Drogon. I think we're going to just target R2 with this. I don't think we get a kill. This Datacron's annoying. Well, at least they didn't get a kill on me. I suppose there's time. Alright, we've already done that on Drogon. I'm actually going to put it on Old Ben just in case it heals him up a bit. Did I say I've already put on R2? I meant Leia. I've only done this a few times, but I've got to say, this doesn't feel very fun. Definitely feels like a bit of a drag as far as, alright, let's just hit each other as often as we can and hopefully one of us hits harder. Especially with that Datacron, it just means whenever you feel like you're making progress on her, she's like, no, we're done here, let's heal up a bit. Alright, hopefully with our ultimate we can actually get a kill. Ooh, we did, we get 2, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the way to go. I was hitting Drogon at the start, but that's just because I think I've got PTSD from Drogon's Cron. But yeah, in theory that wasn't too bad. I mean, we even got Kanan back at the end. So if that was GAC, we would have got max banners. It's just, it nearly took 5 minutes. That's the bit I didn't enjoy. Ooh, CJ's got the Kit-Cron. Yeah, the good level 6 as well. Well, and the good level 3. I haven't seen it with JMK. Hey up, Gavster. Hopefully all okay. I've got... Let me get this right. I've got 1-1 and a 2-0 for the week. I think my 2-0 is going to be a 2-1 for the week. But hopefully I can get a 2-1 on my main. So hopefully it'll balance out. Doing alright here though. Going to say, if anything, Stoke didn't lose at the weekend. So I'm taking the positive out of that. I kind of feel I need to. How's it all going for you? I'm stalling extremely hard. I've got very little to do. Oh, magic cup. I'm about as stoked as I can be. Oh. We were 2-0 down, and it was one of those moments where you're thinking, oh God, are we losing another game? And to the credit, they came back, they got a couple of goals, and you know, you think, okay, it wasn't the worst game in the end, but I wouldn't mind. I'd actually taken my dog for a walk at one point. I was like, you know what, I can't sit here and watch this, I'm just going to take her out. And her response was, I don't want to go out, Dad. You know, she kind of was alright getting the lead on, but then as soon as we went out the house, she was dragging her bum everywhere. It's the first time I've ever seen her not want to walk, other than when it's been like really bad rain. So I don't know what was up with her, but thankfully she was alright last night. It's very tight down the bottom. I mean, Rotherham are dead and buried now, so they're out of the equation. So 2 spots left. I honestly wouldn't know how to call it. You're okay, just working a bit. Came back from Jamaica last week. I would love to go to Jamaica, by the by. Weather in the UK is not quite the same. Yeah, that's definitely true. Nor has been at home as good as being in an all-inclusive hotel. Again, I will agree there. I miss the rum, the jerk chicken, and the Sun Beach pool. I didn't have jerk chicken when I was in Mexico, but I did have a lot of rum. I did have a bit of sun. Definitely a lot of the pool. Not so much the beach, but that's because I'm a bit like Anakin. I don't like sand. But yeah, I think I made up for it with screwdrivers. That's the one I seem to remember ordering a lot. I'll have a screwdriver. And that's probably the one place I remember Spanish from, as far as como esta. Every morning the waiter would say como esta. Eventually you say, what does that mean? You went to Yucatan a few years ago. I can't say I've heard of Yucatan. We went to Cancun, so it's more of a holiday destination in some ways. I say some ways, probably a lot of ways, but I'd say we enjoyed it. Hello. We doing alright here? Oh, is that the... Okay, I honestly didn't know that. I think I needed to... This is the thing as well, we didn't go on any tour guides or anything. So I'm now feeling a bit guilty because I might have picked that up on one of them. But yeah, like I say, it was a nice little holiday, that. You sleep 3 hours, back hurting a bit. You know, whenever I'm thinking of my mum, right, I always say to her, it's about getting sleep when you can get it. And I know 3 hours sleep is still not a lot, but I always think your body needs sleep. So even if you're getting 3 hours, it's something. But I do get it. It's not good, is it? I mean, I feel like lately I've been not as good with my sleep. You know, I've been sleeping, but I've been oversleeping. So it's the opposite problem for me. I need to find a way of keeping myself awake. Or maybe not keeping myself awake as much as not going back to sleep. You feel your pain with the relegation scrap being an Everton fan. I actually saw the headline for Everton just before I started. I'm kind of glad for you guys it wasn't more than that, but yeah, it's not been good for you. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I know with Mashiri, when he took over, I was looking, I thought, okay, you've got someone with a bit of money, you can actually be able to climb the table a bit. You know, not like a Newcastle kind of venture, but I thought you'll be more competitive. And every window from when he came in, I was like, do you need this? The one I always remember is when you got in Davy Klaassen, Gylfi Sigurdsson, and Wayne Rooney in one window. And I was just, obviously I'm just looking from afar and I'm like, why have you got all three of them? You know, you can't put them all in one team. So yeah, there've been some funny ones for sure. Macaire, how's GAC going? We haven't actually started yet. I'm stalling quite a bit just so I've got time to do my gags. But so far so good, I guess. Well, so far in the sense that I haven't actually seen how they're going. It's like Schrodinger's GAC. Go on, we'll hit DMC for giggles. Just so I can actually say I'm actually doing a SWGOH stream. You got squashed again, GAC, by 6.5 million to your 2, is that? 1.2 maybe? I don't really like it how it keeps happening though. Honestly, I do think they need to adjust the bottom end of GAC so that bigger accounts aren't facing smaller accounts somehow. Maybe just have it that a certain amount of GP cannot face a Galactic Legend unless they've got one of their own. No buff immunity. We can afford a hit though. Gafster, it's been a horrendous team building, signings, spending, financial mismanagement, aligned the club with shysters. Yeah, I mean, how I view it, and take a look at Stoke, and you think, we've got what I would consider good owners, and yet we're still messing it all up. So you can have some of the best owners in the world, and even then you can really cock it up somehow. So, I'm not saying like, oh yeah, you know, that's be all end all, because obviously there's been a lot more going on with Everton, but sometimes it doesn't take a lot of encouragement, is my point. It got me at first, Macaire. I have got the red crate on both. Oh, did I get on both? I've just thought. I've got it on my main. No, I didn't do it on my free to play, so we can actually do that now. But yeah, I got it on my main. It was a little bit awkward, but when you've fiddled around with it a bit, it's alright. Yeah, I think the worst thing for me was that you were essentially dragging it out a little bit as far as you had to try and make sure your Night Sisters weren't being killed at the wrong time. You were in 1.82 in Carbonite 2. Hey, you're doing alright. Get to Carbonite 2, that's something. You know, a bit of praise for you there, Drafts. Yeah, I'll be honest, Gafster, I was dreading for you guys that had been more than 2, so honestly I think that was a good outcome. I mean, if the club appeal it, fair play, but 2's probably on the light end. Offhand, I don't know, but I don't think it's worth really pushing for it now, because we're at that stage in the raid cycle where the time it would take to build a unit up, it'd be, by the time the unit's built up, we'd be moving into a new raid. So it's just not worth worrying about it. Gav, the biggest issue was Uzmanov when Russia invaded Ukraine. Yeah, I remember hearing about all that, because isn't his name tied to the training ground or something? And if I recall correctly, he had a big stake in the new stadium. So yeah, I have read tidbits about it because, you know, I just try and keep up to date on these things, but man oh man, when you say shysters, he was the one that came to mind, I'll tell you. Lady Ada, hello there, and Liam, how you doing? What is roster incoming raid? Okay, what's needed? Well, essentially, the things that they've mentioned so far is Galactic Republic. So they haven't. This is the thing. They haven't named characters, so you can't say. It's not like I'm going to tell you form the entire Galactic Republic faction because it could be very inefficient. Well, very, very inefficient. But the general gist is that Queen Amidala is going to have a team that will work in the raid. There's going to be some Jedi that work in the raid. There's going to be separatists, so it's hard to know if that's going to be just droids or if there's going to be something like Geonosians or Admiral Trench's group. And is there one more? Oh yeah, Gungans. Gungans are the other one. They're going to be important as well. So a few big teams. The Gungans are arguably the pay-to-win ones. If you want to call it that anyway. They're the newest thing, so they're the hardest thing to get. Arguably Queen Amidala's up there as well because Padawan Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon, when they come out, they'll be pay-to-win as well. Well, pay-to-win to start. Basically set up forecasted tens of millions of sponsorship revenue paid over multiple years. Oh man. So essentially he was predicting revenue that once he had to drop out, disappeared. That is absolutely mental. I mean, you look at that and you think the Football Association would have a little bit of sympathy as far as at the time it was something that was anticipated to be there, or at least there's no reason to think it wouldn't be, maybe. Unless they could, see into an alternate universe where the Russian invasion didn't happen, then you'd think, there'd be no way of knowing it couldn't, surely. But again, maybe I'm just imagining that. But yeah, I've got to agree. I feel like with football, I've kind of got apathetic a little bit as far as I've still got an interest, obviously, but I think with Stoke's time in the doldrums, my cousin's a Man United supporter, so that's been another sore topic as well as far as teams I follow. Yeah, it's been a bit of a sore spot in the last year or so. Well, I'll say year or so, last half a decade or so for me. Alright, let's go for this Kenobi, why not? Yeah, it could be just something like Newt for sure. Is there an eclipse, Makara? I haven't actually seen about it. I've adjusted it. I don't know if I've adjusted it hard enough, but I have adjusted it. So before, we were working on the idea we were going to be having 25-man walls, but because of the new members we had, it did increase. Now, I've upped it to 35 per wall. We may need to go higher, so if so, I'll just add a few more teams on where possible. But for now, I'm hoping 35's enough. We'll see. Compared to a lot of people, we've got very small TW issues. Anyone who has to deal with 50-man TW walls, I have sympathy for you. Alright, let's do this. Shrekavi, hello there. How you doing? Hey, nice to hear, nice to hear. We're essentially just stalling a little bit until I can reach my payout with Crimson. Well, yeah, more with Tamin actually than Crimson. Crimson can take first one ever. So yeah, we just got to wait till the hour until I can start GAC. Great. Great. Hey. I should have known that wouldn't work, but still, I feel salty about it. I've still got a stream here, drafts. You know, if there's one thing I love about Leia, it's the fact that it's given R2 a home. For the longest time, it felt like he was just the most homeless character in the game. It's really nice that he's got a place now. Such an iconic character, you don't want it to be sort of being such a flex thing. On its own, for sure. Although... I was weighing up then if maybe something like BB-8 could be, but arguably BB-8's got a bit more about him. And it's strange, because once upon a time, I'm pretty sure people would have thought R2 was up there, you know. It's just amazing how quick his kit sort of faded a little. She has been great. I mean, I'm obviously still learning what I'm doing with her, but it's been a load of fun just getting a grips of it. Like that. I laughed because I was just aiming at... I can't even remember who it was. The guy at the end. And I'm just laughing as far as... I thought, alright, I'll just take this one out, get my tunes back, and then we'll finish it. And... yeah, the ult basically said, yeah, no, don't worry about it, man. Don't worry, we got this, we got this. I'm glad we have fun on our own. Yeah, I will agree, by the way, I didn't answer you, Osprey, but I will agree, pre-Chupio he was really top-notch. I think Chupio really did take the shine off him. Yeah, I might need to tweak my R2's mods. They aren't really that great. I mean, if I just go here a minute... I mean, R2's still alright with Rey and all that. It just feels very rough if you've got Leia, because you can't really afford to split him. Yeah, mine's not got a lot of speed at all. And I don't think it's that high offense. I mean, what is it? 1973 on mods? So... he needs a bit of bumping. TW getting 50 walls, most likely a high-end guild, right? It is, but it's not something that's... it's something that you'll get there eventually. The bigger your guild is, the more likely... eventually you will get there. Do we think we'll get naked 3PO from Phantom Menace? This is the weird thing, right? I didn't think we'd get Padawan, Obi-Wan and Master Qui-Gon, so anything's on the cards for me. I mean, I don't really know what they could do with a with a naked 3PO, but it's certainly not beyond the realms of possibility now. I'd say we're a way off. I mean, let me actually have a look. You've got me wondering. Let's close Tammin down a minute. I do this just because I'm obviously going to refresh my account. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, a bit like I was saying the other day, it probably means I'm going to end up having to have one account on PC, one on BlueStack still, but it's not the worst situation. Unless they have a friendly enough sign-in, sign-out system. Hey, nice one, Numpty. That's rough. I mean, Ray has been a bit of a monster. I'm trying to put a bit of gear into Terra Malicos, but even then I've got to get 4 Omicrons. So I'm not optimistic I'm going to be able to have any benefit from it before the Raycrons really disappeared. Or the old Ocron, or whichever one we refer to it as. I haven't heard if it was possible. Maybe. Oh, that's good to know. I've got Bane to gear 12, and I would like to get him to higher numbers, so yeah, that's interesting. Right, so Des Termits, we've got 42-man walls. At least that was the last one. Yeah, 42 there. Just because I'm a dope, what's our number? Okay, so Hermits are 430 million. And let's have a look. Yeah, so Hermits are 430 million, Genserais 265, so we've got a long way to go. I mean, I actually thought it was around the 4 million mark, 400 million mark you got to 50 walls, but I'm guessing it's close to 500 million. But you won't hear me complaining. I mean, this is... yeah, it's a sign of, like, we've got a lot of things to do, and yet we're not even there yet. It's like most TWs, you'll probably hear Pen sort of banging the walls saying, "Come on, my folks, attack, attack," and I'm like, Pen, please, no. Oh, I just don't like TW. I do set my defenses, I do all the good things, but I don't particularly enjoy the attack phase. Let's go there. I mean, how I view it, the droid brains are nice. I say that from the point of view of someone who very recently realised I've only got a couple on my free-to-play. So, you know, in that kind of way, it's nice to sort of have the luxury of being able to farm them. But I agree, if you're getting 1 versus 5, or 1 versus 2, it's not the biggest gap, is it? You're still farming them. And the other rewards are fairly useless. Definitely not drafts. I think they like the idea of them being drop them when you're not expecting them. They don't want people sort of waiting for it. I mean, my guess is May the 4th will be when they'll try it. Just because, why not? It's thematic. But they may go for later. I mean, I think if they did mix up TW and made it a little bit more varied, it would make it more interesting, but we don't even have that situation where it's a layer wall, a jabber wall, etc. It's just generally... you usually have this situation, right, where you're thinking, you can either take the Galactic Legend wall and know that there's probably a few more behind, and then a tough middle wall, or you can take the freebie wall, then the Galactic Legend wall, and then fleet in the middle. And the thing is, my guild probably isn't the strongest on fleet, so when we go that way, it always feels like we're sort of punching at fleet, whereas go south, we've got more GLs to face, which is more difficult. So it's kind of a catch-22 at times. Yeah, I'm going to be upfront about this one. I don't think I can win my GAC here today, just numerically. I've just seen the score. I will show when we come on to Crimson, but if he does what he normally does, I don't think I've got a chance. So I'm just going to put that one out there early. But we will see when we log in. Yeah, I mean, again, Numpty, I'm probably bad for that as well, just as far as... I mean, if I get a ping and say, right, there's these teams, I will attack, obviously. But for me, the one that I dislike is Weekend Wars, because usually it's a Saturday night for me. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. And it's not because I'm not a team player, but it's because it's the one day of the week that I say, right, I'm spending time with you, Mum. No game, just focusing on having a bit of time together, if you like. You know, it's the same as anyone else who might have a, you know, like you be with your wife or be with your partner or whatever, you know, and all those kind of relationships, you know, and that's what I dislike about it. It kind of demands that you have to, well, maybe not demands, but it was a GAC. If you have a night off, it's on you. You know, it's your rewards, doesn't matter. When it's TW, you feel bad because then your guild's missing out. Gar-Saxon ship is alright. I wouldn't prioritise it. Yeah, like I say, Gar and ISC are pretty good right now, but you need... Well, maybe not need, but you benefit from having Maul, and that's a Conquest character. Yeah, I mean, I'll agree with you there as well, Numpty. I mean, there have been times when I've seen the front wall, I've thought, I've got nothing here. Because like I say, I tend to go heavy defense anyway, just because that's kind of how I prefer TW for me. But then you suddenly have a wall that you just can't beat, so you're like, alright, I'll chat later. And then next time, usually what happens is, say the top wall, I'll leave it. I come back next time I'm logging in. They've taken the front wall and the second wall down, and it's the middle wall, which again, I've got nothing to beat. So I kind of just have to try things, and it's just so frustrating. Usually I can take a fleet or two out to make sure I get attack banners. Jigadi, hello there. How you doing? Yeah, I mean, I always sign up because I've always got teams I can put on defense, but I do get what you mean. It's not one of those where you don't want to essentially weigh your guild down, you know. So I do always try and contribute as well on offense, even if it's not as much as I would like. It's where, like, when I'm looking at my GAC comparisons, you know, I'll see, oh, I've got 5 GLs, my opponent's got 8, and I'm like, that tends to be how I feel. I think all 5 of my GLs are on defense right now. So I'm usually relying on my TW Omicrons, which aren't always that good. I mean, I've got GI's Omicrons. I've got... I'm trying to think what I've got, actually. I've got Dad Boba's Omicrons. So yeah, that's 2 counters I've got. So I can take out Bounty Hunters and I can take out a JML. So, sorry, Love Vader and JML I can take out. Yeah, it's one thing, Drafts, that you might be sensing that it never changes. Yeah, if you ever move crystals from moving to TW, yeah, I mean, you can see here I'm obviously focusing on fleet now, and I think that's the big thing. They've put crystals there. If they do move them from here, they have got to put them in a personal game mode. They cannot move it to guild events, just for the fact that I think if you get to a situation where people are dependent on their guild for crystals, it's really going to get messy. Yeah. I mean, I say that, right, because, again, this is not a dig at my guildmates, it's just kind of how it is. But, like, with the raid, we can get higher raid score, but there is this reluctance at times to push for it as far as remodding and all the things that come along with it. And I do get it. I've got hot utils, and that really helps me. But there are people who don't have it, and the idea of remodding for certain characters, it's daunting, shall we phrase it? You know, because then you've obviously got to shift all the mods back and whatnot. So I can understand the issue, but equally there's that bit of me that's thinking, say a similar situation came from TW, then that would be really awkward, because suddenly it'd be like, okay, I don't care if it's awkward, I need my crystals, can you guys put the effort in? And equally I'd have to do the same, so it would get so messy. Just thought, who can we hit here? Let's see, Jig's 3 hours away, GG's 2, Puddler's 3, Stealth is 8. Who's in 5th? Kronos. Okay, we can do that, we can do 9521. Really, it should be 951, but there's someone there I've got to hit. The 13.6 million raid boxes, as far as I'm willing to go. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I've actually done my raid today. I haven't got that far, but I've done pretty well. Here we go. 12.3. So, you know, it's pretty decent, I'd say. I mean, I would love it if I could bridge that gap, but a bit like yourself, I'm not going to push for it because it's just too much effort. Like, I think it's something where eventually I'd get there, because like it'd be something like doing Moff Gideon, or just some of the Imperials who I kind of want to work on anyway, but I just haven't been able to nudge them yet. But it's not worth pushing it now when there are bigger priorities. I mean, as well as that, it wouldn't impact the main school, so that's the other issue. If my individual school could boost the guild score, it'd be worth it, but it just doesn't happen that way. We've all got to start somewhere, drafts, haven't we? You got your tooth? Do you mean like you pulled it out? Oh, wrong one. Oh, your hound's tooth. I was going to say, I thought you were pulling teeth out. I was going to say, don't do that. Just wait and invest everything into Gungans. The weird thing is, I'm kind of inclined to. They do seem to be building a pretty nice team already. I mean, we'll soon see when Jar Jar and the tank come out, but... Well, the tank and Jar Jar, but... they kind of look good already from what we're hearing, so... They don't seem like a terrible investment. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to see what they do with them for sure. I mean, the tank's going to be interesting. I think when I've been doing the marquees, you do get this feeling that the shield generator goes pretty quickly. So it's like, if the tank can give the shield generator some added oomph, we'll see. I'll tell you, early game, I'd not be great for you. Might even be a good first Omicron. I'm saying first Omicron, I don't know if you have actually got another Omicron offhand, but yeah, Aiden can really win your games on defense. Early on. Let's do that. Okay, again, Negotiator will be brilliant. I remember when I got Negotiator on my baby account, I set it on defense and it was just like saying, alright you guys, you deal with it. No, I don't want reinforce, let's do that. Yeah, sure, just drop me a link or a code or something. If anything, I could do with some idea of the numbers for Bane. And Negotiators, Galactic Republic fleet, yeah. So you run Jedi Knight Anakin, Ahsoka, and Y-Wing usually. Although, if you haven't got the Y-Wing farmed, you can go for Houndstooth. Yeah, if you don't put Galactic Republic with them, it's not as effective. I think when you start the game, they give you capital ships that are kind of... They fit a lot of fleet. You know, like, Home 1 can work with a lot of things, Endurance can work with a lot of things. But when you start getting other fleets like Negotiator, Malevolent, you kind of need specific factions. Just to be clear, Y-Wing doesn't have a pilot, but Y-Wing's just a great Galactic Republic tank. It has synergy with Unending Loyalty, or whatever the buff is that Negotiator has. I think it does anyway. Okay, so all health mods. 142k health, 250 speed. I mean, this is the thing I was curious about. I assume you do put offense on him, even if it's only secondaries. It doesn't matter much. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, again, I have not really looked too much into him. Yeah, I knew it was health modding, but I didn't know if there was a focus on secondaries with that. But yeah, that's good to know. 142k, okay. So that's not bad as far as in my head. I can just think of him like General Grievous. Potato Soup, hello. I'm a bit surprised, to be honest. I feel like usually it's a busy hour at this time. Thanks for the follow as well. Ooh, why didn't that make a noise? Or did it? Maybe I'm not hearing it. You're homeschooled? Hey! I can't say I know anyone who was homeschooled, but that's pretty cool. I say that right. I'm, what, 31 now? School's a while ago for me. If you count university, I did homeschooling. Okay, maybe not. Being a little bit cheeky there. I actually left home to go to university, so it feels like saying you're living on campus is home. Alright. Here I'm on Tamin here. We've done what we need to do here, don't we? Ooh, we've got the one battle still. Yeah, gotta clear my throat. I haven't actually, well, way back when, I didn't do that myself, but that's because I felt like I was easily distracted. I mean, what I would do, I feel like I'm showing my age a bit, but I used to have like my corded earpods in, I'd have some music on, and then I'd sort of just try and keep my eyes focused on my laptop, and I'd try and give myself little breaks for like stop doing what I was doing. And especially when I was in halls, I'd usually just take that break to have a little wander, like I'd go into the hall kitchen or whatever, just to roam around, just to stretch my legs. But way back when. I went back to my campus years ago, and it was bonkers in a way, because I graduated in 2013 and I went back in 2015, and in them 2 years it had changed a lot already. I mean, if I went back now, I don't think I'd recognise parts of it, and that, in a way, that feels sad. Like, man, it's just over a decade now, and you wouldn't recognise it. I mean, if anything, I'm glad for the campus. You know, I went to Edgehill University, which is in Ormskirk, and I feel like it's a very underrated place, as far as I always feel like I have to explain where it is and all this. But Beautiful campus. At least when I went there. Surrounding area is very nice and quiet. I know that might be not something for everyone, but I really liked it. You were just able to walk down to the town, get some food or whatever. If my mum was visiting, we could just drive down and have a meal there. So just really nice, very chill. And obviously, the university itself was brilliant. I feel like I'm plugging it for people, but I can't help it. Brilliant place. You've been having a chat with your GAC opponent. That was 3GLs versus Ray, and still Ray and Ben standing. Oof. Have they said which ones they used? Now, why am I putting my drink all the way over there? That's rough. I mean, JMK, I tried the other week and lost. And then I tried C and lost, and and Starkiller, so that was rough. Yeah, I'm from the UK. I'm from Stoke-on-Trent, so maybe not the most common accent outside of the UK. Oh, so he tried that in that order. Wow. The fact that he got one kill from an insta kill and nothing else, that's impressive. Well, impressive for you, obviously. Your Beck's got your 9 holds. I saw Sungita, or a bit of his recording his GAC the other day, and he got really frustrated on a Beck and a Qui-Gon. I think the Qui-Gon had Kit and the Beck had Kiadi. That was rough. I think he lost his cool a bit. Yeah, I think the issue with the Tankron is just timing the hits. It's not like, say, I'm trying to think of an example, but there's not a lot that really goes on to health easily, is there? I don't know. I mean, a bit of me's thinking I could do with JMK ×2 sometimes. I could do with 1 on defense, 1 on offense for me. Just doing the numbers in my head. Next Monday Conquest starts, and then it's a week after that. So 7 days plus another 10, is it? So 17 days. Although saying that, it wouldn't be 17, it'd be more like 15 because of the join period. Oh, I'm feeling rough with Malikos. I need him geared yesterday. Hey, that's not bad though. Go and say it's a nice chunk of time. Are you enjoying it still? My voice went really high then. Let's smack the tank. Okay, so you put a bit in. I mean, how I view it, those Lightspeed bundles have been some of the best value in the game. You know, and I really dislike sort of having this mentality of telling people if you're going to spend money, this is where you spend it kind of thing. Because personally, I don't really like telling people to spend money. But honest to God, they've been great value. So, you know, anyone wonders, are they good? Yeah, they're good. It could be doable. You need 120 shards in Gear 11 to a Relic 7-ish. Is that all? I actually don't know where I am on mine. I feel like I'm still miles away. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that was kind of my mentality in getting them. I mean, Oh, we got ads. Yeah, we've got a Minisim 15 left. Let's do that. Alright, hopefully I haven't crashed the stream or anything silly just trying that. Let's press this. Alright, we'll do the flyby. Oh, you're back, are you? What I was just going to say... Ooh, hang on, I've just clocked this. 1 second.